Well, today I've been messing a bit more with this old blue Honda 50, SH50, and I've come to the conclusion that it is not going to run anymore. It ran the first night that I tried it. It has not given me even as much as a kick since that. It does have spark. I rebuilt the carb as best I could, but you can't get parts for these carbs anymore, and I was using the parts off the carb that I had for the red one, and I'm just getting nothing out of it. And the bowl seems to be getting fuel. It's pulling fuel, but it doesn't seem to be getting from here to where it needs to get to in the head. Although every time I'm pulling out the spark plug, now hold on a second, because I was trying this a few minutes ago and I'll show you what I mean. So I'll just undo the spark plug. I guarantee you that the spark plug's going to be wet. See that? It's wet. So it is getting fuel, but it's not lighting it, and I don't know why. The only reason I could come to is that there's some stuck rings and the compression's not high enough. I mean, it does have compression because I turned it over, but it doesn't blow my finger off the top. I can feel it sucking and blowing, but it doesn't blow my finger off the top of it with compression. So I assume that compression is quite low. I also thought about the reed valves being not very good, which would make it pull a lot of fuel and foul up the plug a bit. So I went today and I went and bought a set of reed valves. I bought a new carburetor like the one I put on the other bike, Chinese one with an electric bike starter, and I'm going to block this off just like I did on the other bike, because this system, I've never had much luck with getting this system running properly or anything. I don't know much about them, so why torture your head when you don't need to? You can just get a Chinese carb with an electric choke and put it on, and it works fine most of the time. Now, another thing I did notice was, if you listen to this, it's sticking a bit, but not only that, that does not sound healthy. That sounds like the bearings are very badly worn. And obviously if the bearings are badly worn, it's doing more damage to the inside of the barrel as well. So I came to the decision that I have an old engine here that Sam Cotgrove sold me. Big shout out to Sam there for this. This is an old engine he sold me for parts, and I've taken some parts off it, but I realised that the crank and the bearings in this are, you will see when I turn it, no noise. So the bearing and the crank and all that in this is quite healthy. Hear that? No noise off them bearings, so they're very good. Now I have a choice. I can use this engine and just put the extra bits on, buy a new barrel and piston, and take the extra bits off the other engine and put it onto this, which would leave it an unoriginal bike, which it is an original one at the minute. It has got the correct numbers that it had when it left the factory. Or I can split this engine open, take the crank out and the bits that I need and put them into the original engine, whose casings is just in bits anyways, not in good condition casings. But I would like to keep it original, so I think that there's a good possibility that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the crank out of this, if it'll come out without a fight, and I'm going to probably use the crank out of this, because it's got good bearings and everything. So that's where I am with the blue one. It could be a while before I work at it, or I might just take some sort of a notion someday when I'm bored and start on it. But as you can see from my shed, I have absolutely no space at the minute to work. I've got engines all over the place, half pulled apart, and unless I finish at least one of them, it's pretty pointless. I definitely need to clean this crap hole up and be able to get at stuff that I need and all that. So I think that'll probably be what I'll do next, clean this up a bit, because I'm a messy worker. When I'm just a bit lazy, I won't put stuff away. You can see my nickel for recoating my bolts and stuff. That's where I am with the blue one. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to run again, and I've not been able to figure out exactly why. I assume that it's compression, I'm not sure, or the reed valves, one of the two. But it did run for me the first night quite well. If it just wouldn't run with the... I was having to keep putting my hand there to keep it pulling fuel. It wasn't pulling fuel, and it's still not pulling fuel, and that's why it's not starting probably. But I have no explanation for why it wouldn't pull fuel unless the compression was low or something. So that's where I am with it, and that's it, guys. Till the next video. Thanks for watching. No, I'm well on with this red one, and it's looking kind of decent now. I could repaint that floorboard, but paint's probably going to wear off it if I do that anyway. So I'm going to order a new set of rims. I have spokes ordered, and that'll be the next job. I'll rebuild the wheels. I'll probably then, if I can manage to get this blue one running, because I always want to have one around the house that I can mess about with and that's running. So if I could get the blue one running, I'll strip this one down then and do the frame, powder coat the frame and everything, and finish it off, paint the engine, and that'll be it, completed. I bought a new cowl for it today because this was all broken and I wasn't going to be able to repair it in a way that it would look good, so I bought a new one. So that's what I'm at today, and I'll see you later.